Hey guys, how y'all doing today? My name is Franchise Fanatic, and welcome back to the channel. And today, for you guys, is another Star Wars video. Yes, you saw the thumbnail and you read the title. Hopefully, we're talking about Star Wars Outlaws, the latest Ubisoft game. Now, look, let's be honest here. Obviously, leave a like, subscribe. Thanks. You're the best. The discourse, the talk of the town, so to speak, regarding this game, has been kind of, in two camps. On camp one, you have the people that say this is a trash game, it's woke, it's Disney, so it's bad, it's Ubislop, it's boring, it's stupid, it's horrible, oh my god, K-Vest looks like a freaking doll, you know what I mean? And then on camp number two, you have the people that are, me. I'm not just the one guy in the camp, but, me, who's like, oh, this looks cool, I like Star Wars, I'm gonna buy this game, it looks freaking cool, you know what I mean? I'll give it a shot. And I gave it a shot, right? I spent $70 early, I didn't, early birthday gift, $70, and I have been playing it. So the gameplay you're seeing, by the way, is not mine. The reason why I'm not recording this is actually because I'm on the planet of Kijimi from Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, and that is, I'm kind of in a spoiler-ish territory where I don't want to give too many things away. I can't really, at this point in the story, I can't necessarily film gameplay without ruining the story. I'm in the middle of the story, so it's going to be kind of awkward if I do that, but, maybe I'll get some gameplay out there once I, finish the campaign and all that, and I get some more free roam and side quests and all that. So yeah, I'm just, you're going to be seeing some regular-ass gameplay that you've probably seen before. But, I'm doing it to help you guys. So this game essentially is set in the original trilogy era. I believe it's after Empire Strikes Back. And it's set during, I guess, like these syndicate areas or these, crime boss locations. And you play as this girl, K-Vess. And, her with her weird, I don't actually know the species name. If you know it, tell me in the comments. It's like a dog with tendrils. It's kind of like my dog Tanner with, octopus tendril things. His name is Nyx. And K-Vess and Nyx kind of, it's kind of like Star Wars Red Dead Redemption in space, I guess, where it's, all right, we want to kind of give a name for ourselves, and we want to make a butt ton of credits. We want to, kind of live a life and do all this. Obviously, more stuff happens than just that. When you play the game, there's, different factions and rivals and syndicates and choices and all that. We'll get into it. But the baseline story is you're playing as K-Vess with Nyx. You're trying to make a name for yourself and explore this galaxy. Now, the game, before we get into the game itself, this game was kind of marketed and, advertised as the first open world Star Wars game. That's wrong. I don't know who at Ubisoft thought that was right, but it's not. Jedi Fallen Order, while not open world massive, does give you multiple open planets to explore and re-explore. Jedi Survivor does the same thing and gives you Kobo, which is a much bigger planet. Lego Star Wars The Force Awakens gives you multiple planets. Hell, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, if anything, is the first true open world Star Wars game. And before you say, well, it's different, open world can mean either one big area or multiple areas, right? Hub worlds, for example. That still quantifies as open world. It still quantifies as free roam. Maybe a little bit of like a subsidiary of it, but it's still kind of the same thing. So Outlaws is also not just one big open world. This is not like Avatar Frontiers of Pandora or Assassin's Creed Mirage or Watch Dogs 2. Outlaws has 5 different planets. Some are, Kijimi and I don't actually know if you can go back to Cantonica from The Last Jedi, but I do know that, you start there. This is also not quote-unquote open world by some people's stance because, again, Outlaws is not one massive planet, it's a bunch of planets. So we've gotten open world Star Wars games before, okay? Maybe not as big, but they've still been free roam open world areas. So that's a blatant freaking lie right there. Maybe Ubisoft doesn't count the Lego games, but guess what? Lego games are AAA. They are, Lego games, but they're also Star Wars games. They count. Not canon, but they still count as games. And let's be honest, the Lego games are pretty effing awesome. But before we get into Outlaws, again, I just kind of wanted to make that known. Even though this is not truly the first true open world Star Wars game, it's one of the best, okay? We've gotten a lot of, free roam Star Wars games. I just named them all. And so far, again, I haven't beaten Jedi Survivor. I kind of put it off just a little bit because it runs like dookie. It's just really bad on PS5. A million patches later, it still runs like trash. But Outlaws actually runs like perfect. I'm playing it on my Series X. I actually do have the weird black bar aspect ratio thing, like when you're watching a movie sometimes, I have that on. I think it looks really effing good, because when I turn it off and I play the game, everything looked really like squashy and really like blurry and weird. So I turned it back on. Looks really effing great. If you do play Outlaws, or if you own it and you're not playing on the black bar mode, I don't know what the effing aspect ratio is, but if you're not playing on that, I highly suggest you actually do play it. Where, I know Digital Foundry is like, well, actually, you get 1 FPS more, actually, if you do it without the black bars. But, like, dude, I'm playing quality mode, 30 FPS with the black bars. It runs like a freaking dream, okay? It runs like a bantha, okay? Let me just tell you, it's a really, really good game. It looks beautiful in quality mode. 60 FPS performance mode isn't horrible, but there is, when you pan the camera, there is some stuttering, and I'm pretty sensitive to stuttering and screen tear and all that shit, so I want nothing to do with that. Once they patch it, maybe, but honestly, quality mode looks freaking beautiful, and it runs amazing, okay? It is. I haven't beaten the game yet. I'm like 7-8 hours in, but I wish I could just play it all day, every day, but I can't. When I do get to playing it, it runs great. There are literally no issues. I genuinely haven't had 1 FPS drop. It looks really great. Now, we have to get into the gameplay, right? When you're playing a video game, that's what you want. And Star Wars Outlaws is kind of a mixture of different Ubisoft things, right? You got the Assassin's Creed shit, where you're climbing things, and, you're sneaking up on guys, and you're doing stealth missions, and there's bases. Also kind of like akin to Far Cry in a way. But then you've also got Watch Dogs, right? You know how in like Watch Dogs 2 you can use your cell phone and like hack and blow up a subway tunnel or whatever? You can do that in Outlaws with basically Nix acting as your cell phone. So instead of, Aiden Pierce or Marcus Holloway blowing up a pipe or something, or blowing up a car with his phone trying to launch YouTube, instead he blows the half the freaking street up. In this, you get, Nix, and you go, okay, hey, Nix, or I don't do this. I don't say this out loud. K-Vest does. I don't talk when I, K is like, hey, distract him or attack him, or, Nix can do a lot of things, right? He can steal stuff, he can attack people, he can distract people, he can get collectibles and items for you. Nix is a very valuable thing to command, right? He's even more responsive and more fun to use than BD1 in the Jedi games, right? BD1's cool, he's marketable, he's a cool droid, okay? He's a good droid, but he really just kind of sits on Cal's shoulder and, like, pops some pills whenever he needs it. He gives him a little stim canister, he just kind of, shoves in his thigh. That's all he really does. Nix can do a lot more, and that's actually kind of cool. Now, when you get to play as K, you can, like I said, you can do the black bars, you can adjust the FOV, which is really nice. But when you get, to actually play as Kay, she controls great, I think, like, there's nothing really wrong with that. If you heard that slap, that was my knee. I didn't fall or something. I don't know if you heard that, but whatever. So you get to play as Kay, and she kind of, runs around these planets, and she kind of controls how you would expect. It's nothing crazy. She runs around. You can, while you're sprinting, you can tap B on Xbox, and she'll do a little combat slide. Tapping B, she ducks and all that. There's, like, Arkham-style things where, like, you can effing, like, crawl in air ducts, and, obviously you can do stealth, where you can, obviously, you have your blaster pistol. You can shoot them, you stun them. It's just a one-shot kill. You're not killing them, you're stunning them, but they basically act like they're dead. And that's a cool little stealth thing. Obviously, you can use Nix to attack a guy. You can run up on a stormtrooper or something and just punch him. Now, the animations can range from very good and immersive to what the fuck is happening, because K-Vess apparently she has, like, hands of cortosis, because she hits a stormtrooper over the head. And, like, I swear to God, if anyone did that, and I'm not trying to sound sexist, but you get a pretty, I don't want to say short, but a medium-sized thin woman, a young medium-sized thin woman, against a full-grown-ass man in big stormtrooper armor, and you're telling me that little bonk on the head's gonna knock him out? Like, that's freaking total BS. Okay, I'm not trying to hate on it. I know it's been shat on the internet already, but yes, okay, it's a bit awkward. When you're hitting a guy in the head or something when he doesn't have a helmet, it's fine. But when Kay over there is, like, bitch slapping a stormtrooper and he's down for the count, like, that is just, that's insane, you know what I mean? It doesn't ruin nothing, it doesn't ruin anything for me. It doesn't take me out of the immersion. I don't go, oh my god, how woke, a woman, I'm not one of those rejects, but I know it's Star Wars, but it's a bit wonky, okay? Like, look, fire in space in The Acolyte, That's not canon breaking. That is canon. It makes sense, okay? People that say it is are stupid. That makes sense. K knocking out a full-grown stormtrooper with helmet, with a, armor on, it's a bit weird. And I think you get some kind of weird melee weapon that kind of tases people later on. I didn't get there yet. But as it stands, the stealth is good. It works. And it's fine, but some of the animation's a bit wonky. Everything in this game pretty much works, okay? Like, I don't want to quote Todd Howard here, but it pretty much effing works. So, everything in this game is it's fine, and it's good, and it's fun. But nothing in this game, besides maybe one or two things, is not that revolutionary, okay? I think one of the most revolutionary things in this game is, it's these massive Star Wars planets. That's cool. It's canon. That's cool. There's a prequel, original, and sequel trilogy love. That's really cool. And, of course, you can go from, say, Tashara to space in essentially with no loading. Now, there is a loading screen. It's a cutscene, and they kind of, mask it under these bells and whistles to, it doesn't effing say loading on the screen. Like Starfield will just sometimes go to effing loading screen. It's just really weird. This doesn't do that. It shows you taking off in space, and then when you land on, say, Tashara, Tatooine, Kijimi, wherever, you do watch a cutscene, quote unquote, but it's meant to look like it's not a cutscene, and that's really good. I think they did a good job with that. Again, the gunplay is good. K-Vest's blaster works with stealth, with stunning. When you gotta go loud and kill people, it's a blaster, so it's like you tap the right trigger and it's like pew 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 pew. There's like the overheating mechanic where your blaster will overheat, so that's kind of in lieu of reloading your magazine or whatever. It is a bit wonky, though, that K, just has access to this is kind of my first real negative. K has access to this blaster, and it works and it's fine. But, when you kill certain enemies, you get their gun, right? You get the grenade launcher, you get a sniper rifle, you get an assault rifle, blaster, all that stuff. And you can use K can pick up an assault rifle blaster and start blasting away bad guys. But each gun each blaster you pick up has a specific set amount of quote unquote ammunition, right? So when your laser gun is done being a laser gun, K just kind of tosses it away like it effing broke. And then you just go back to your pistol. Now, I like that because it allows K to feel, and the player, to feel more powerful for X amount of time, right? It's like a power-up in Mario. But it's also really effing stupid because K is a smuggler and trying to kill people. And, if it just seems really strange that you're giving us this massive open-world environment with all these fun creativity things to do. And then, when it comes to the weapons, it's just really the one pistol. Now, maybe they'll edit, maybe they'll patch it in where K can hold, a finite amount of weapons than just the one blaster pistol. So it's not horrible, but it is a little bit weird when when I'm used to playing other open world games where I have like a shit ton of weapons to use. This is just one, and you do get to use other weapons, but it's very quick and over with in a flash. And it is really kind of jarring and a bit weird why they would even do that. I get it. They're trying to emulate like a female new version of Han Solo. Han Solo was never really running around shooting people with a freaking LMG. You know what I mean? So it would be a little bit weird if K all of a sudden has like this, just a bazooka the whole game. So I get it. I'm not stupid. I know why they did it. But it is a bit weird when you actually think about it for 2 seconds, right? K climbs a ladder or gets an event or she sneezes and she effing drops the gun. It's like when you climb a ladder, put the effing gun on your back, you know what I mean, or something. She just drops it like it's a, old piece of candy. I'm like, no, you could use that to kill the next bad guy, you idiot, So just a few things in there that are a bit wonky, but that's pretty much where my negatives end. The game, again, it looks beautiful. It runs great, especially on the 30 FPS mode. Playing with the black bars and everything on the top and bottom really adds to the immersion. I've never played a video game in my life that had that, so it's really unique, really cool. Some people, it's a personal preference thing, but the game was technically made to be played with those black bars, and therefore it will look more cinematic and more betterer, to put it. I know it's not a thing, but it'll be more betterer, okay? Trust me. And, of course, the gunplay is fine. It works. It's fun. Stealth, this is not going to be Metal Gear Solid shit or Tom Clancy, Ghost Recon, Wildlands, whatever, okay? But it works, it's fun. The open worlds, again, I've only been to Tashara and Kijimi so far. I wish I could play this more, but I'm in school now. I got to go to my college and learn stuff, so that's fun. But, when I have time to work on it for an hour or two, maybe 3 every day if I have some time, I hope to finish it soon. But, again, these are more first impressions, but I'm assuming the game won't be changing too heavily anymore. The space combat, space segments look really great. The ship-to-ship combat works. Again, this is a very accessible game, not in like a diversity woke way, but in a way where like this is like the good diversity that isn't forced down my throat. You know what I mean? Like, you can change the black bar thing. You can change the FOV. You can change quality to performance. You can change, how quickly the camera moves or how quickly the ship turns or the speeder bike that you can customize. Lots of cool stuff like that. And that really, for me, I spent 15, 20 minutes in the settings just to kind of get my stuff that I wanted ready. And then I was playing and I'm like, oh, okay, this feels better now. I'm able to play kind of in a way that made me feel more comfortable playing, which is obviously a good thing for everyone, and no one really should be complaining about that. But speaking of the other kind of diversity, we got to mention the W word, right? Woke. Is Star Wars Outlaws woke? Let me just say, having a female in something is not bad or woke, okay? Just because it's not a white guy doesn't mean it's woke. Now, if Kay Vess was running around the galaxy saying, all men are bad, men suck, women forever, men are horrible, oh my god, they're all pigs, that would be woke. That would be weird. Look, I'm a straight guy, but I'm not a pig. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not some kind of weird dude that, like, goes on fucking Pornhub and searches Kay Vess. You know what I mean? I'm not weird. So, like, nothing really, I've been called everything under the frickin' sun, especially on Twitter, so nothing really offends me anymore. I really have thick skin that I can admit to. I really don't give a shit what people think about me or what they say about me. What I say, my opinions are my opinions, and I'm not going to back down on them. I'm not some kind of snowflake. I'm not going to get offended if you don't like what I have to say. I really don't care. But at the same time, for people that are easily offended, oh my god, there's a woman? No, it's fine. It's okay. She's a good character so far. She's not a Mary Sue, which no one really knows what that is. I do. Not many do. That's a very thrown around word or phrase, which is really freaking dumb. But Kay Vess, so far, I'm like 7 hours in. She's a good character. She's funny. I think, she's not like the best character ever, but she's not poorly written. She's not written to be some, badass female that just like, I guess in a way when she's like one-hitting stormtroopers when they don't see her coming. That's more of a gameplay thing than like a message type of thing. So that's not really, that's an issue, but not a diversity issue. So yeah, it's not really woke. There are women and there's a black guy, but that, like, people that get offended over that, like, touch grass or something. I don't know what the hell to tell you. You're kind of lost right there if you think a woman is evil. But at the same time, it does work, and thankfully it did, because a lot of Ubisoft games have a tendency of either running like dog crap or looking like dog crap. I love Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I have like almost 300 hours in that game since I got it in 2020. Which is probably rookie numbers to a lot of people. But, I've also got Assassin's Creed Mirage, Watch Dogs 2, Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, and every single time I play, Far Cry 6, a lot of these games, when playing on either 60 FPS mode or just the default version, like Far Cry 6 on my Series X, it runs like crap. Like, there's screen tearing up the butt. It's like 2 FPS sometimes. They're very poorly optimized. So, with Mirage, I had to play in 30 FPS mode, and it's got some weird-ass blurring that I don't like. I have to deal with it, or my game's going to lag like a potato. So, thankfully, Outlaws is actually very well optimized for 30 FPS. 60, it's okay. It does stutter a little bit. If you are fine with that, you're fine with that. But I would rather have a consistent experience than, like, walking into town in Tatooine or Tashara and it goes like 2 FPS, you know what I mean? And then you go back outside, it's 55. Like, I'm not doing that. I want a constant frame rate. And obviously, this game will get patched and we'll have updates. We're probably going to get one in the next few days here. So I'm assuming everything's going to run better. But yeah, the 30 FPS mode is really great. Again, I love the combat. The story's good so far. The faction system is freaking awesome. How, if Kay pisses off the Pike Syndicate from, like, the Book of Boba Fett, for example, and, they're in the Clone Wars and whatnot, too, and books. But, if you piss off the Pikes and your reputation is poor or terrible, you can't, if Kay tries to go to a Pike area, they'll just effing attack her, But if you're stand with the Hutts, or the Ashiga clan in Kijimi is good, or really good, then you can just waltz in there like you're freaking king, or queen, I guess, and they can give you, credits and new job opportunities. So, the game has some really great replay value. Not only can you do this amazing, campaign so far. You've got all the side quests, all the collectibles, you've got the faction system, you've got all these planets to explore, and again, once you're 100% done with the game, which I haven't gotten to, but I'm assuming, you'll still be able to free roam, you can kill enemies that spawn in the world and they're roaming, you can, I heard online that this game has the message board missions like some of the newer AC RPG games have, or like their infinite missions. That's cool. You always have a new mission. They're going to be repeating, obviously, but you can still do missions, which is really nice. That's what I heard on Reddit, at least, for people that got early access before they got effed over by the game, by Ubisoft. But overall, man, look, first impressions, I guess it's more of a real review, too, technically, but I didn't beat it yet, but so far it's really great. It looks great, it runs great, it's really, really friggin' fun. The planets are really great. The two that I've been on so far, again, Kajimi, I guess I was on Cantonica, but that was kind of fleeting, but it's fun, man. It's really freaking fun. I love Jedi Fallen Order. Jedi Survivor I enjoy. I don't like how it runs, but it's fun. I love Battlefront 2 2005, Battlefront 2 2017, The Force Unleashed 1 and 2, even though they're not canon, sadly, and all the Lego Star Wars games are obviously, I think, probably the best in terms of content and being fun. But Star Wars Outlaws, man, is really great. I think the people that are online saying it's woke mess or it's Ubislop or the again, you guys know I'm Republican, but I'm not one of those weird hard right morons like oh shit, what's his name? Out something, or maybe, I guess, Star Wars Theory 2, or Melanie Mack Go Boom, even though she's hot. She does, she a lot of these hard right YouTubers, they find that image of Kay where she looks like a fucking malformed burnt doll, like something from hell, literally from hell. It's like an Evil Dead looking Kay. And it looks like she's like melting. The picture, okay? It's really effed up. And it's on like every Star Wars Outlaws thumbnail. I didn't put it on mine because I'm not a weeb, I'm not a moron. I have some picture of Kay, but it's not that one. And they slap that image on their thumbnail and they're like, look at this! This game's a failure. Oh my god, look at that. It's woke. Look at the and then they do the thing where they look at the actress that plays Kay that did the mocap. And obviously, look, the girl that plays Kay is obviously far more attractive than Kay. But let's not kid ourselves there. The people that are sending these images of burnt up crusty Kay that's like one frame. Again, much like Star Wars and or real life politics, people take out of context shit, and then it spreads like wildfire for the morons that believe it. I'm not calling you guys morons, but there are people that saw that image of Kay that looks like a malformed doll from hell, and they're like, ugh, I'm not buying that. This is woke, or that looks like that's bad. I'm not gonna buy that. But 99.99.99.99% of the freaking time, Kay is. Like, she looks normal. I'm not going to say she's, like, stupid hot, but she's not ugly. Like, she doesn't look bad. She's an attractive female. Maybe she looks a little manly in the face. You could attribute that to Ubisoft being diverse. I don't know. She's not ugly, though, okay? I'm just saying. Obviously, I'd rather date Padme or Rey, obviously, but Kay's not ugly as far as Star Wars females go. They didn't deliberately make her uggo. She doesn't look like a hut or something, you know what I mean? So I just find it really kind of pathetic that some YouTubers and people on social media will take a really out-of-context image and try to pass the game off as bullshit and horrible. And, oh my god, look at that. Look at this picture. You shouldn't buy this game because of this one picture. Like, no, I spent money on this game. And no, for the one stupid moron in my comment section, did Disney pay you? Dude, if Disney paid me to like Star Wars, I'd be dropping teaching, okay? Fuck it. I'd be living in Florida, you know what I mean? I would be a billionaire at this point. But I wish they were paying me. No, I genuinely love Star Wars, and I have reasons why. I've gone over them. Maybe I'll make another video. I don't know. I love Star Wars, straight up, plain and simple. That's why I bought the game, because it looked cool, and I like Star Wars. And guess what? The game's freaking good. You know what I mean? It's nothing, nothing revolutionary out of this world crazy, but it runs well, it looks great, it's got a good story, good gameplay, it's fun open world, and it's canon to Star Wars, so that's cool. You get some official lore. I think it's a really, really good time. And again, I'm not 100% done with it yet, but once I do finish the whole game, and at least the story, and I go to all the planets, I might make a part 2 to this, but again, so far, man, it's a really great time. Do I recommend, going out and paying 70, maybe even 100 for the legendary? I never recommend buying the most expensive version of a game. I know they got some cool stuff like statues and whatnot, but for me personally, You know, unless it's like a Lego game and like the deluxe edition is like $10 more, that's fine because you're getting a minifigure and codes and all that. But you know, if you're spending $130 in this game, I don't know about that, okay? But my mom paid $70 for it for an early birthday gift, and I think the $70 is well spent. Okay, this is a game I'm going to be spending hours and hours and hours, potentially even 100+ hours in, because I love Star Wars. Right? I can just walk around Tashara for hours and not get bored. Oh, and you know, then you get the blaster fighting and the missions and the replayability. I mean, this is a great Star Wars game. It's also just a good game, okay? A lot of people claiming this is a bad game probably haven't played it. I know opinions exist, but it's kind of hard to say that this is objectively a bad game because I've played it and, you know, again, it looks good. Like, objectively, you can't argue that. It looks good. It runs well. You know, you can argue about the story and the whatever, but, you know, if a game runs well and looks good and it's got fun gameplay, it's pretty much all you need to have a good game, right? I mean, the story is good too. That helps. And again, you know, I like Nyx. I like you know, some good comedy in there. I like the ND5 droid that Kay meets. Again, seeing a prequel, original, and sequel trilogy planets and, you know, ideas kind of come to life is really great. You know, obviously we got to explore Cantonica and Kijimi for like 5 minutes in Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga, but that game, obviously, you know, it's not canon to Star Wars, right? It's like a retelling. This game is canon, so it's like breathtaking to walk on Kijimi. You know, as the sequels are my favorite films ever. The Rise of Skywalker is my second favorite Star Wars movie, so to, you know, go there and you know, gamble on, you know, obviously, you know, not with real money, but, you know, gamble fake credits on Fathier races, and then, you know, have a meal with Nyx, and they play like this little mini game where you eat. It's very, very immersive and fun, and I highly recommend it. Again, I'm not paid by Disney. This is my straight up opinions. My only negatives would be, you know, I guess the stealth could be a bit wonky sometimes when you really think about it, and the fact that Kay only has one weapon, and, you know, I like that because it's like a powerful power-up, but at the same time, it kind of makes no sense when Kay picks up this blaster, shoots it for 5 seconds, and drops it like it's broken, you know what I mean? Maybe they'll patch that in, but overall, dude, I have a great time with Star Wars Outlaws. I'm going to go play it right now, actually, when I'm done filming this. I'm not even lying. I'm doing that. But yeah, man, I genuinely love this game so far. I think it's really great. I think it is definitely worth the $70 if you have the money. If you like Star Wars, pick it up for, I mean, I have it on Series X. Again, I'm playing on quality mode, and I'm having an outright blast, man. It's a really great time. It's a great time in general to be a Star Wars fan. I know they canceled The Acolyte. I made a video on it. Hashtag save the Acolyte. I'm not even kidding. That's a great show. If you haven't seen it, please see it. That's another video for another time, though. But Star Wars Outlaws is a great experience so far. I'm very glad I got it, and I'm playing it, and yeah, it's a blast. So tell me down below in the comments about what you think about Star Wars Outlaws. Are you going to get it? Do you have it? If so, what's your favorite part? No spoilers for the story, obviously. It's still a new game. I haven't even finished it yet, you know, as you know, so... You know, don't go spoiling it online, but I've had a great time so far, and I can't wait to keep playing Star Wars Outlaws. And again, once I finish the whole game, I will give you guys my, you know, part 2 once I've been to every planet, but so far it's great. And yeah, I had to address some of the controversy, because a lot of the controversy and the stuff that they're passing around with that K image is just, I mean, it's false, it's misinformation, it's fake news. I haven't, you know, maybe that is in the game, but it's like literally a split second, and, you know, it's just really funny that happened. Sad, but funny. It's sad that people believed it and, you know, judged their whole gaming experience on one image. But anyway, you know, that's the internet for you. I can't wait to continue playing Star Wars Outlaws, though. I'm having a great time, and yeah, great time, and yeah, all Star Wars is good. Save the Acolyte, all that fun stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna go beat up some people with K-Vest. Thank you guys, and we'll see you in the next video.